Hi, Gordon. Welcome come to our YouTube channel. I'm Kirit. I'm the development worker on the Answer Cancer program. Gordon, can you say a little? Thanks for taking part today. Can you just say a little bit about yourself and just get a sense of what you're about as a person?
Okay, right. Well, I'll say my name's Gordon. I'm 61 now. The most important thing to me in life is family. I've been married for 33 years and I've got a daughter of 22.
Okay,
that's what's important to me. Talking of daughter,
it's always have a good background. Well, it's good to know. And what have you been doing with most of your life? Really, are you retired or?
Oh, I am now. I was lucky enough to have my mortgage, to be able to pay off my mortgage and finish work 3 years ago. So I've not been in work for 3 years. Not that I've been idle.
No. What were you doing, Gordon? What were you?
Well, for one thing, I'm a lay preacher in a Methodist church, so that means I usually do about 20 odd services a year.
Wow. Okay.
Services a year. On top of that, I've also been a volunteer for last 14 years at Salt City Radio. So I present a show on there, and I'm also a studio manager, which means I do a lot of admin work as well. Particularly scheduling programs. That's my main forte.
Right. Okay. Sounds good to know. Really good.
Yeah. I also sing tenor in the Saltburn Community Choir, so I have a busy time. And a Monday afternoon choir as well. So there we go.
Great to know that you're busy, Gordon. Good to know. And I think this program is around cancer awareness and engaging loads of people who don't go for cancer screening to come forward and think about screening. And so can you just say a little bit about your experience of being diagnosed with cancer?
Sure. I was diagnosed with cancer 15 years ago. Breast cancer, actually, which is relatively rare in a male. What I did, I was really daft, completely daft about it. I started getting pain in my left nipple. I had it for a bit. I used to put cream on it and stuff and not think too much about it. Then the nipple inverted and started to crumble away. And again, I didn't think anything about it. So I did nothing, absolutely nothing. And then one day I had a very severe asthma attack, which meant I was taken into hospital in the back of an ambulance. I was in hospital to put me on the ventilator and stuff. But whilst I was there, they spotted my chest and all hell broke loose. I was told you're not going anywhere until you've seen the breast clinic. So once they sorted me breathing out, that took about 4 or 5 days to do that. But they kept me in a further 3 days until I saw the breast clinic. And then it turned out from that's when I found out I had breast cancer. Now the thing about that is, because I was so silly and I did nothing, if I hadn't had my asthma attack, I'd be dead. It's as straightforward as that. There's no question about it. I would be dead because I did nothing. And I just want to make sure that people don't do anything as stupid as I did. When these things happen, do something about it. Don't be the man and don't think everything's okay. Do something about it. That's what it's about with me.
That's good, really good. I mean, you're right that the shock of going to hospital for one thing and then finding out you've got something completely different.
Yeah,
it's a real shock to yourself and to everyone around you, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I suppose this comes on to being diagnosed like that in that kind of moment. It was a kind of a wake-up call for you, but it's not so much a wake-up call. Apologies for that. But in terms of just a sense of, what chances we get to see these things. So did you notice those bodily changes in you?
Yeah.
Did you notice it, Gordon, or did you?
Yes, I did. I noticed the nipple inverse. I noticed it was crumbling away, but I still did nothing. I don't think it was anything much.
Right. Okay. Now this is it. I think, and then what is that? Because are you kind of generally health conscious or thinking, well, health is something just you don't think about?
Well, I've been blessed. I suppose is the best word to use it, with one hell of a constitution. So I'm not used to being ill.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not had the COVID for one thing, not that I know of anyway. But I've got one hell of a constitution, so I've very rarely been ill in my life.
Okay. That's exactly it. I think, Gordon,
so you get to think, because you like that, you think you're indestructible. So you see something, so you think, oh, it's nothing much.
Oh, Gordon, that's exactly it. I think you've spotted it all on, because I think
Yeah.
generalizing men in general is that they do feel that they need to, they're just invincible. Like you said, they're indestructible.
And it's particularly prevalent in northern men.
Oh, okay.
In this country. Yeah.
Right. That's
I think we're more stubborn about going to the doctors, those northern types.
Right. And this is very stereotyping, but I think that's a good way to look at the way that men generally don't want to look at their health in that way.
Yeah.
And see themselves as being, that's part of being a man, of being able to cope with pain.
Yeah.
Or not being able to cry or go to the doctor and see someone around it, because that's admitting that's that sense of failure or weakness. So, Gordon, I think it's amazing that that's a small thing that can be easily looked at and treated is something that a lot of men just won't come forward with and say, okay, that needs to be looked at. Yeah, it's very interesting. So then from tell us what happened next, then, in terms of you found it. And
well, as it happened, everything happened very, very, very quickly. I was officially diagnosed. You see, I remember this absolutely totally on Thursday, the 23rd of June, 2006. I was then discharged from hospital. The very next Thursday, I was in the breast clinic seeing Mr. Chatterjee, the wonderful servant who sorted me out. And he said to me, "Oh, look, this was Thursday." He says, "Look, if you I've actually got a space for you. I can operate on you on Monday." And I said, "Oh yes, please, let's do it." So I was back in hospital again on the Monday, having my breast off. It was that fast. So I had my breast off on it was the day before my daughter's birthday, so that would have been the 3rd of July.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, fortunately for me, that was it. The operation was enough to clear it all. They found a tiny little trace in one of my lymph nodes and they took them out, but it wasn't enough to concern them.
Okay.
So that was it. They decided I didn't need radiotherapy or anything else.
Great, good news.
And then going on to it's a matter of going on to the hormone treatment then.
Right, and then following that, then so it's been a regular kind of checking and making sure that you're okay. Is that
well? I was under Mr. Chatterjee's clinic for about 7 years.
Okay.
You start off by going every 3 months, then it's stretched to every 6 months, then it's once a year, and then eventually he says, "All right." Then they take you off the tamoxifen, which was the hormone thing I was on, and then after a bit off that, we decided, right, well, that's it now. You're off. You don't need to come anymore.
Clear. Yeah, fabulous.
You're all clear.
Right.
But so far, not come back.
Oh, good, absolutely good news. Go on, so I suppose this is the next stage, really. So you took up the mantle of then I wanted to talk more about it. So tell us how you got involved with more men's cancer.
Well, I didn't immediately. As I say, I was a volunteer at Salford City. I'm a volunteer at Salford City Radio, the longest serving volunteer, as it happens. I go on about that a lot, I'm afraid, and I know I shouldn't.
No, that's good to know. He's getting medals for that, isn't it? That's good to know.
Yeah. So what happened then was, I forgot what I was up to now. Oh yes. What were we talking about? I'm sorry.
Campaigning. When you did your campaigning, how you got?
That's right. Sort of city. Yeah. What happened was one day the station manager sent a message around saying, "We'd like, is anybody be interested in being a cancer champion for you, answer cancer?"
Okay.
And I thought, "Damn, you did something, lad!" So I volunteered for it. So I did the training, became a cancer champion, and it went from there.
Really good, and
So then, because I had the radio station, I've mentioned cancer a lot on my own radio show, and I did a special radio program which still gets put on every so often.
Oh, good to know. Good. And I think that's something we will definitely.
In fact, I think it was actually on the other Friday, so they do schedule it, put it in sometimes.
Right, good to know.
Particularly about cancer and stuff.
No, that's really. I mean, that's the thing about the way that we want to get our message across in different ways, in different ways that we can get those messages, and radio is a really good way to get to men that you probably, you know, while they're doing their jobs around the house or on the side somewhere, they'll hear it and they'll take note.
Yeah.
No, so I suppose so in terms of in your view, what needs to change around cancer awareness? Is there anything particularly think that, oh goodness, we could do more of this?
Well, as I say, my forte, naturally enough, is breast cancer in men. It's so as far as I'm concerned about, I can really only talk about that in any sort of knowledgeable way.
That's okay.
And the thing with that is, men never bother to check the breasts. They check down below because they're told about that, or some do, but they're never told about checking the breast.
Yeah.
So I'm berserk for getting a message across to men. This can happen to you. Anything that looks a little bit odd, don't do what I did. Get it looked at.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good message, isn't it?
It's a matter of getting the message out there, because there aren't many places you can get a message out for male breast cancer. It's getting better, and we've made a few inroads into general cancer places. Yeah, through the other cancer organisations I work with as well, and we're getting there, but we do need to get more out to men, to make them more aware that they can get breast cancer, and it does need to, and get it checked if anything looks a bit odd. Yeah,
and God, I suppose you're right, because I suppose the number of women that is impacted by breast cancer is around 55,000. Comparatively, you know, men is a smaller minority, it's around the 350, 70, 90 mark. So that is such a small portion, but every person that's been diagnosed and sadly lost to cancers is less.
But the other way of looking at that is, there might be 300 odd of us a year, but 80 of us a year die. That's quite a proportion.
Yeah, it's
it's a massive bigger proportion than the ladies, and the ladies' cancer is important to me too, and I do promote that as well. But you know, it's quite a death rate, really.
Yeah, and I think there's really, and it's like you said, that the advancements made now in terms of cancer treatments and the ways that the medications and it's so much more stronger and more powerful than it's ever been. So I suppose this is really an unnecessary, you know, something we can definitely do something around.
For instance, 15 years ago, when I was diagnosed, they put me on tamoxifen. Well, I was one of the first men to be put on it. It's actually a treatment for female breast cancer, but so it's actually based on a female hormone, I think. So I was one of the first men to take that.
Okay.
They know a whole awful lot more about it now, about how it works with men. Okay. What the side effects are than they did when I was on it. So yeah, things have moved on.
Well, moved on, exactly. And I think that's another quick core message for us, really, is that you know, screening. I mean, because there's no screening for breast cancer for men, it's screening for, you know, breast cancer for women between the ages of 50 and 70. It means that men aren't kind of considered or looked at in relation to breast cancer in that respect. Apart from us raising it, like you said, through the various charities or through our own voice, through the Answer Cancer program. Yeah. So that's fab. So in terms of what's your views in terms of engaging men around their health? What do you think that could be what could make more men look up and take notice?
Us blokes, particularly us Northern men, you know, we're so stubborn. It's difficult. You just have to keep hammering the message out, I think.
Yeah.
Again and again and again.
One thing,
you know, it's not sissy if you think there's a problem there to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Might save your life. Do it. You know?
Yeah. No, I think that's exactly it, isn't it? That sense of just not wanting to just face any medical kind of scenario or setting. And
I mean, ladies, bless them, and I love them to bits. When they're with their girlfriends, they're not scared to talk about their illnesses and how they've been and what's going on with them and all that. Us men, we don't.
Yeah.
You never sit around in the pub with your blokes, with your male friends, and talk about, I wasn't feeling well last week. I think I've got a touch of this. You don't do it.
You don't do it. No, you don't do it. That's exactly good. I don't think you don't. We just don't do it. And I think because we don't do it, I think there's more reasons why it might be going on in your head. You might look for other sources of support. You know, it could be through your wives and girlfriends or your partners, and it could be could be a way of getting information to them. So, but I think. Yeah, so that's definitely one thing is we need to talk more. So that's a definitely good message. Just own up to it and just speak up and voice it. So and what would you like to, in terms of kind of final messages, really, Gordon? What would you like to leave our listeners and our viewers with? What message would you leave them with?
Well, it can be initially very scary to have a diagnosis of cancer. These days, it's not necessarily a death sentence. There's a lot that can be done, and all these cases where it can be severe, and you know what goes with that. But a lot can be done now if they get you early. So look out for things. If anything doesn't look right, get it looked at. Earlier the better. We can do an awful lot today, and most people who've got cancer survive it. But, you know, but it depends on you getting in there early.
Yeah, and so, I think that's a good good message.
And even if you are diagnosed with it, don't think for a minute, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. You might think that for a minute or two, but it's not necessarily the case these days at all. It can do an awful lot.
Yeah, Gordon, that's a good way to end it on this show program this morning. Is that yes, early detection matters. It can save your life. And the sooner that they found something, they can treat it, and the outcomes are more likely to be more favourable. And so,
absolutely,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can I just say thank you, Gordon? Thanks for sharing and for being a kind of championing our cause and championing cancer awareness amongst men and in our various communities out there. Thanks, Gordon, for this.